Hello and welcome back. We are here for the play portion of our second draft of the day on day 3 of CubeCon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got myself, Team J-Bro, and the amazing Justin Parnell.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thrilled to have you.
First time in the booth together this weekend.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
Not the last.
Not the last. Not the first.
last.
And actually, not only that, but we'll talk about this a little bit later, but the first time we actually interacted was another Cube tournament many years ago.
That's true.
We'll talk about that later. But for now, we're going to touch on the UMA Cube, and we have a lot to go over. We're covering Gavin Verhey today, so should we talk about the list?
Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to look at the draft. I've been looking at the UMA Cube list, but dude, I know you. There's so many things you can do here.
Yes.
Yeah, really wide open. We got a lot of fixing. There's a ton of lands in here. What did Gavin cook up?
Well, Gavin's got an interesting 4-color. He's not exactly taking his train down any specific track of this cube. It's not, one archetype or not. He's mixed in a couple here. We've got a 4-color, really good fixing. We've got some, red and Gamble and Young Peasy. We've got some white with Knight of the Reliquary. So some just good value cards, but we've also got the Life from Loam engine, which is fantastic in this cube specifically.
Yeah, because a little graveyard interaction with this cube. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the reason for the season. But then on top of that, we've also got some really powerful cheap green cards, such as Satyr Wayfinder. And you might be saying to yourself, 1-mana, 1/1.
Yes. Let's pretend I don't know the power of Satyr Wayfinder. Please regale me a tale.
But not only that, for 1 and a green, we also got Mulch. And I know you know how powerful that card is.
It's almost as powerful as Satyr Wayfinder.
That's right.
It doesn't have legs.
That's right. And on top of that, we got not sure how to exactly Shigeki, the Juki Visionary. Are you familiar with that? What's a newer one?
Yes, that's the is that the one that you tap and you look at the top 4 to get
that's exactly
lands,
right.
And then it has channel.
Yep.
And then you can pull 1,000,000 cards back from your graveyard.
Yep.
I know that guy. That's a powerful card.
Yes. So he's got all 3. Like each one of those on their own is a great green card, but he's got all 3. So we got a lot to do and a lot of ways to cast him. Fantastic fix. We got Bloodstained Mire. We got Misty Rainforest. We got the Windswept Heath, Wooded Foothills. But we've also got Stomping Ground, Sacred Foundry. Just a ton of really, really great cards to get. And not only putting lots of cards in our graveyard, what are the payoffs? So we've got Tombstalker, which
that's a good one.
Was a staple in my early vintage cube, actually.
Yes.
I think underrated.
Yeah.
5/5
flyer. Hey, back in the day before there was a Murktide region, you had to go hard. You got
OG Murktide.
5/5, 8 mana, delving for 6. This is what you get, okay?
Hell yeah.
There's no Tassiger, like none of that stuff.
Speaking of Tassiger, we also got one of those. And again, Tassiger in a format like this is going to be even better than normal, right? You're filling it up, you're taking it down. We've got, like I said, okay, so you got Gavin to register the deck. Gavin is not playing Young Peasy in this. That is a surprise. When we saw his draft, that was his pack 1 pick 1. First of all, the idea of someone drafting a pack 1 pick 1 and not playing it is basically unheard of in Cube. That takes a lot of discipline.
It does take a lot of discipline. Now, let me tell you a story from the booth, because you were on the other side of the table. But on Thursday, when Gavin was in the WotC versus Wisconsin draft, which we will admit Wisconsin did do a little sweep action, Gavin fell into the trap of drafting some stuff he ended up not playing. High Tide, Time Spiral.
Oh, yeah.
He picked up all that stuff. So Gavin, I know, is thinking in the back of his mind, I'm back on camera, I got to win. So what it takes is to give up my first pick. What it takes to give up my first pick, then that's what it's going to be. So, Gavin, we're going to have, on 4-color Grixis?
Yeah, 4-color value.
4-color value. So we have Danny, who's going to be Gavin's opponent. Looks like we have some white and black. This is very mid-rangey. I'm going to, honestly... We'll just call it Orzhov aggro. More aggro. We got Bone Splitter starting. Okay, we got Ginger Brute. That's aggro.
Yeah,
Orzhov aggro.
We'll take it. So again, we've got a mid-range kind of later game deck with the zombie Plukernos and all that wonderful mulch stuff going on. And then we've got an early game Buck. So we're gonna get on our players in a little bit. We've got them deciding their mulligans and getting that situation through. But we're off to the race with a great match. I'm excited. You excited?
I'm excited. Look, one, getting to cover Gavin
yes
is a joy. I know.
That's a ding. That's
I know he's got some ground to make up. He you know, from a pride standpoint,
he's ready.
4-color Gavins. I like that.
4-color Gavins and Orzhov aggro. Let's go. Okay, so and also we have to note Gavin is wearing the Wisconsin colors. It is Badger Day today. You're not from Wisconsin. As Wisconsinite, he's wearing the green and white. Or the red and white. Okay, starting out. Oh, just kidding. The old.
I'm going to predict that Gavin's turn one's probably going to be a Jet Myers Garden. Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Hachi-machi.
Unbelievable foresight for me from the booth.
We got Aaron Foresight over here. All right. So we got, 3-2. That is aggressive. Wow.
So,
Orzhov aggro living up to its name. Go ahead.
Scrapyard Scrounger on 2 for Danny.
Scrappy Dappy. And getting ready to tappy. Now we definitely have a play coming here. Is it going to be mulch? Is it going to... Oh,
so
it is a mulch.
It is a mulch.
Let's go.
So Gavin already 4 of his colors with access: white, green, black, and red.
Yep, and we got the Pelucanos in the bin, which is great, but we lost one of the most powerful cards in this deck, God Pharaoh's Gift, which can get back State Wayfinder. So you have 2 State Away,
Yeah, and then you get it going. You keep the value train going.
Now the problem is you can only do it once because it removes it, so you only get 2 State Wayfinder. But if you got 2, 2's all you need.
That's twice as many as you're generally allowed in a queue.
That's right. Okay.
Sometimes 2's enough.
So what are we looking for turn 3? We want to keep that pressure up. Tap in a couple. We got options. We know Danny's got options. Okay, can't quite make that out.
From here, it looks like one of those lands that's the full text, but I'm sure that's not the case.
I think it's like a. This
is a flip card.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a flip card.
Okay, that makes much more sense. Okay, so
we don't know what flip card, but let me see if I can maybe figure it out.
Okay, so we got again. Danny's gonna be getting in for 3 pretty consistent. It's gonna take Gavin a while to set this up, but when he gets to. I
bet this is Michiko's Reign of Truth. Kamigawa Saga that flips.
Okay. And not the Jitte one. This is the other one.
The Jitte one?
Yeah, there's the one that can gain 2 life or give -1/-1.
No, this is
the other one.
This is one that I believe
we can't bring it up on stream, but if someone in chat wants to look it up, ! Card's name, blah blah blah, but yeah, we're
Chico's Reign of Truth. That is what we got.
Yes, that's also a metaphor for my life. Okay, Gavin's on. Gavin's got to do something. This is a lot of pressure being applied early for a deck that's so dirtily. And Gavin doesn't actually have a ton of interaction, but you know what he does have?
What does Gavin have?
He has a 1/3 that can knock out an artifact or enchantment by binking something from the graveyard. 1/3 green creature.
Is he going to be firing that off on turn 2? I would imagine he's probably willing to take these mediocre beats for a little bit. We got a Knight of the Reliquary, which is just going to be a 2/2 for now. But I imagine with the cards you've told me about in Gavin's deck, probably gonna grow into a big one at some point.
It's a spicy meatball. All right, Gavin's down to 10 somehow. Not sure how that happened, but that's what he marked it at.
That is because that's going to give +1/+1 to target creature for each artifact and enchantment Danny controls. So gave +2/+2 to Scrapyard Scrounger.
Grief, Gobnasif. Well, that is a lot of pressure. And he's also got the creature that can sack other creatures to give it protection. So you can get in for additional damage when need be.
So we're gonna float some mana.
Oh no, Judge. Is that?
We're gonna float some green.
Is that a
sacrifice a forest? And we're gonna go look for another land here. So Gavin is gonna accelerate himself to 5.
True, and pump up his creature while doing so, and get another creature in his graveyard for the zombie Pelucanos. But is it too late? This is a lot of pressure next turn.
I think Gavin's got about this turn to work with some development, and then next turn we got to start making moves.
And not only, so he goes down to 9 to get the additional value off of it, gets another 4 so we can search again. Now Pelucanos can start coming back next turn, but we also need something that's not going to have an easy removal spell. If we know anything about Orzhov.
There you go.
Okay.
And we have an Ishkana Graph Widow, which is going to bring along with it three
That
1/2 spiders.
That's a resilient,
AKA a bunch of big butts on the battlefield for Gavin.
and we cannot lie. That is fantastic. What a turn of events. Now Gavin has truly stabilized, although, remember, Danny still has something that can get through. Those are all green creatures, technically.
They are all green creatures.
Those are all green creatures. So he can still set. Okay, so we're flipping and ripping. So now that's just an XX creature.
I believe it's a 2/2.
Yeah, 2/2, depending on enchantments, and it's artifacts in play. That's power and toughness.
And it is an enchantment itself, so always a 1/1 and getting a boost from the Scrapyard Scrounger as well. So
Even
Danny,
a 1/1 if you snake form it, technically.
yes, because you can't change the super type. So Danny, not exactly on the back foot, but needs to match something with that Iskana, and he passes. I don't think this is a pass of inability to cast something, because Danny's got a grip full over there.
True, but Gavin now is going to get to a lot of. Oh, he missed a land drop. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't go upstairs. Never mind. He's still waiting. Okay, Danny's going to get to, and Gavin's going to get to 6 mana this turn, which also means that Pelucranos gets to come back in play, which is
potentially
absolutely relevant. Or he could also do something even more powerful. But that Pelucranos on a board state like this is fantastic. He's got the 2/3 Missionary with lifelink and Kicker to raise dead. Fantastic. Okay, that's one of the newer cards. I love that they look a clear sleeve.
So Danny,
that's true.
Danny has a handful, a little bit of instant speed removal. We got a Murderous Cut that's available.
Right.
Really some powerful stuff in Danny's deck, but a lot of it is sorcery speed. So I am, the more that I look over this deck list, the more that I remained a little bit concerned that we might have really passed without much of a good play, which is interesting. And maybe we are just holding up 5 mana for a Murderous Cut because there's nothing in the bin.
Definitely possible. Now we're really getting, oh my.
Sir,
all right.
Sir Conrad, Sir should have never been printed for Gavin variant. Let me tell you, I had a talk personally with Gavin last night about the printing of Sir Conrad. And
yes.
he had washed his hands clean of being involved with that one.
Of course he did, because he wanted to play it today. This is all prelude to this moment. That was probably his design.
I think that it was.
Statistically speaking. And so let's talk about Sir Conrad a little bit. So this card, especially in this particular format, is completely busted. It's a 5/4 for 3 black, and whenever another creature dies or another creature is put into a graveyard from anywhere.
Or leaves the graveyard.
Opponent takes 1. That is insane. Plus, it has an additional ability if you want a black to mill both players.
And we see, as predicted, Danny was leaving up that Murderous Cut.
Okay.
Fortunately, taking out the Sir Conrad, which would have been a massive problem if it wasn't dealt with immediately.
Well, and now Gavin starts the beatdown. The spider's coming in, and Gavin's just going to take over. He has so much to do, and Danny doesn't really have a lot of burn left. He can, again, bink through with that pro-green creature if he sacks other stuff, but, without Aristocrat's Enablers,
what's the pro-green creature?
It's this one, the 2/2 that can sack something to become pro, right? Isn't that creature?
No, that is Priest of Fell Rights. That reanimates something from the graveyard.
Oh, that's a Priest of Fell. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's the 2/3 that can be brought back from the graveyard.
That is a Priest of Fell Rights.
Gavin is in the driver's seat even more than I thought. I had misread that card.
What was this? Invasion Limited? Is an Invasion Limited card you thought that was? That's a Priest of Fell Rights there.
That actually makes much more sense, especially in this format. Okay, we're in trouble. And right, Spider can drain and lock. Yeah, Danny's, and also again, that Knight continues to grow. It's now a 1/2. It's what, a 7/7? Good grief, Goblin Thief. We're in trouble. And again, that's the
I think it might. 6/6, 7/7, whatever. It's getting blocked.
Yes,
chump block.
Chumping and dumping. And on top of that, this is the power. Although now he can get it back and start doing some shenanigans.
No, it's an enchantment.
Oh, it's an enchantment. You're right.
It's an enchantment. It's an enchantment on its face.
So this is one of the strengths of a deck like Gavin's. Is it has a lot of ways to find what it needs because it's both drawing cards and milling cards like Pelucranos, and it has a critical mass of threat density.
Well, anytime that you get to extend your hand by also using your graveyard as your hand,
yes,
you are really playing a different kind of magic than some other people. Woo! And this is a Worm Harvest, and honestly, This is an absolute nightmare card for Danny.
Oh, Gavin, that will not do. That pink sleeve with a counter on it is not for worms.
I'm sure they'll find some worms for him, but Danny's deck is really predicated on getting down early, putting some threats in play, casting some removal and interaction, and then going forth. There's a couple of flyers. Angel Invention would be a good one, but Danny would have cast that long ago if he had it.
And we have a lot of reach creatures on the board. Okay, apparently Gavin says no tokens.
No tokens.
Well, that makes Jabro an unhappy caster, but I will say it looks like Danny is worm food.
It is looking like that, and this is going to be death by 1,000 cuts because it's not going to. Okay,
I
think, and Danny realizes that this is going to be too much on the ground for me to get through. Let's start over. I'll take the play for this one and see what I can do in game 2.
He got his chicken wing bang bang there, and you know what? He put in a good effort. He was in great shape, but once Gavin's deck, and not only that's the other thing about Gavin's deck too. That's really interesting. It has the threat density. It has.
Yeah, you didn't tell me about Worm Harvest. That's a game changer.
Yeah, yeah, and not only that. Check this out. 4th pick, there was not 1, but 2 spider spawnings. He took neither of them. Tabled.
Here's the thing about spider spawning.
Oh my.
I think it's a great card. It's a great card in the limited environments that it's in, but it really is difficult to reach the upper power level of most cubes that it's in, especially cubes with rares and more synergistic stuff. Spider spawning is great. Worm Harvest is an easier to achieve spider spawning, in my opinion, because spider spawning is predicated on creatures, right? Yes. You're always playing 17 lands in your deck. It's rare you're going to be playing 17 creatures, right?
True.
You have a lot more cards that are going to be bending things and getting lands back out.
True.
A lot easier than for creatures, and we actually see that in Gavin's deck where we have Mulch, we have Satyr Wayfinder, we're discarding stuff with Knight of the Reliquary. So I'm not saying he shouldn't have picked the spider spawnings because maybe he can do both, but if I was faced between the decision between spider spawning and Worm Harvest for Gavin's deck, I don't think it's close. Worm Harvest is it, and that's what Gavin has.
Well, anyone who custom makes Sir Conrad certainly knows what they're doing. And I would say that the proof is in the pudding. And again, that's not a nice thing about Gavin's deck. He does have ramp too. So he has the critical threat dense cards, but going from 3 to 5, going from a Knight of the Reliquary to a 5/4 or whatever, or going from 4 to 6 is just bonkers good for what he's trying to do. All right, so
there's a couple of sideboard cards that I'm going to point out for Danny here, and I want you to. Are you sitting down?
Yes.
I need you to stay sitting as I go over some of these. Okay.
I was about to stand up.
There's a couple of cards in Danny's sideboard that I don't know that I 100% agree that should be in the sideboard. And I'm going to start with the one just because I'm going to try to calm you down after this.
No. I don't want to hear it. I know what you're going to say.
Thraben Inspector sitting in the sideboard. Thraben Inspector sitting in the sideboard for Danny.
All right, it's been a good day. I'll see you guys later. That's it for me. I can't take it anymore.
We have
a
couple of really cheap creatures, some 1 mana and 2 mana creatures in Danny's sideboard. If I were Danny, seeing what I just saw, I am lowering my curve as much as I possibly can for this matchup. I got to get in while the getting's good.
Can I ask a question? We're used to like vintage is the most popular form. Like, is Ancestral Recall only good in vintage?
No, it's good everywhere.
Is it good in this?
Yeah.
What if it was white instead of blue? Would it still be good?
It'd be better.
Okay. Then why would it be in a sideboard?
I'm not. I am a threat. You're a bigger Thraben Inspector fan than most people.
In many ways, I am Thraben Inspector.
Yeah, it's true.
Statistically speaking.
I'm a huge fan of Thraben Inspector. I think it's, honest to God, no lie, I think it's one of the best white cube creatures ever printed, and I'm not saying that ironically.
Yes.
And I know you know that.
I would
seriously.
say that's a strong understatement.
Yeah.
I think that's an understatement.
Yeah. I truly do. But some people look at it and say this is a 1-power 1-mana creature, and it's tough because it fills the gap of what you're trying to do of every turn. It interacts with so many cards. I know you know this. I'm preaching to the choir.
You know what blocks a worm token? A 1/2 Thraben Inspector.
Danny, I'm hoping has sighted into some of these cards, but I'm also not seeing a 1-drop.
He already had half the combo. He had a
a-
Plains turn 1.
He absolutely can't miss 2 and 3.
Okay.
And this
a Walking Ballista?
or maybe a Hangerback Walker.
Okay.
This is a Hangerback Walker.
Oh, Hanger Banger. Okay.
Hangerback Walker. I mean,
not bad.
It's still solid.
Much better turn 2 than a walk. That's what you want to see more in a Walking Ballista, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so
and he does have a chance to build this up, and he has one of my favorite cube cards out of Modern Horizons 2. A fair one, not like an unreasonable one. Bone Shards.
Bone Shards is great.
Incredible
great
card.
design.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Bone Shards is quietly one of the best cube design cards in years.
I agree. I totally agree.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's so elegant.
Big play out of Gavin, though, which obviously is playing into his massive graveyard synergy.
Oh, my.
We got a Grim Flayer.
That's a Grim Flayer.
Newly, card that surveils.
Yes.
Errata to Surveil.
Errata to Surveil. Fantastic. Yeah, so Grim Flayer about to be a 4/4 Trample Dample, unless... What do we see here?
We have an Armix. What is the Armix Filigree Thrasher?
Is that the one that gives -1? Let's see.
It does. -X/-X. You can discard a card when it attacks.
When it attacks, that's right. Okay.
So that's not a bad one, but you do need to be able to take advantage of your graveyard. Speaking of which.
Oh my, it begins. There's a Tassiger.
Satyr Wayfinder again.
Okay.
Last time we had Mulch, this time we had Satyr Wayfinder.
It's all good. All this is adding to Delirium. All this is good. Even if it doesn't look good, it is good.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you want.
The thing about this cube is you can bend so many things, and it seems like it's largely irrelevant at the time.
That's right.
But those cards truly, at a later point in the game, become an extension of your hand. What do we have here, Jay?
Gambling for a Life from the Loam. Let's go. This is a classic combo.
This is a classic combo.
Yeah, this is like
it's a classic legacy combo.
Yeah.
It really is.
Are you a gambler? I'm a rambler personally.
So, do you know the true text on Gamble? Let me tell you the true text on Gamble.
Go ahead.
So Gamble says, disregard what's on the screen, folks. What Gamble says is search your library for a card and set it aside. Flip a coin. If you flipped heads, discard the card you discarded. If you flip tails, discard a random card in your hand.
Yes, statistically, that's the case.
50-50, you're going to discard the card that you searched out.
Yeah. This is accurate.
But I love putting cards in my graveyard. So,
100%.
You need to think about it like this, folks. Is it a gamble? A gamble is just a split card between a red Entomb or a red 1-mana Demonic Tutor.
That's right. Yeah.
You're good either way.
Yeah. And not only that, it's red, so it's chaos. So you might get one, you might get there. You don't know until you know. Okay, so let's see what he gets. What's your prediction?
I think Life from the Loam is
no. We know he got Life from the Loam, but is that what's going to hit here?
I say no. I say it's not
I'm
going to
say
hit
yes.
Loam.
I'm a gambler. Let's take it. No, that's not a green. Or that's not a Life from Loam.
No, I don't know what it was, but it's not a Loam.
I can't.
I think we would have spotted the Loam.
Yeah, we would have known the Loam. But it does give Delirium. That's a 4/4. That's a 4/4 Surveil creature. Oh my, we are in trouble.
Yeah, Danny.
Well, he's in trouble.
Seemingly already resigned to fate here.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Who's the
we don't have much time left, so get him in now.
Who is the beatdown?
Gavin and his graveyard currently are the beatdown.
Yeah, this is pretty. And in fact, it might.
And Gavin, for coverage, momentarily considering not bending all of the cards he looked at off of Grim Flayer, but I believe we know the truth. Those are always going to go to the bend no matter what.
That's right, no matter what. 100%. Wow. Yeah, Gamble. Yeah, this deck is great. Although I am curious, I want to talk to Gavin later about his choice about not including Young Peasy. But anyway, he knows what he's doing. This deck is great. He's got a plan. It's value graveyard stuff, and it's a 4-color non-traditional version, which I love. I knew when we got Gavin, I would get some.
What do you mean 4-color? I see Forest,
Watery Grave,
Touché, and Sacred Foundry right there.
5 colors, 3 lands.
Okay. Now we have what is potentially the most powerful card in Danny's deck.
It's pretty good in theory.
Monastery Mentor, but not on its own.
Not
need
on
to have
its
a
own.
follow-up with some instants and sorceries, presumably.
And and you can see the leg shaking as indicated by his hands and stuff. So the left leg is shaking, which might mean that he knows what's about to come. And that's a. Oh no, it's not. Okay, never mind.
Okay, that is a Masked Vandal.
That's pretty good.
That is going to be
Guess what's an artifact?
That is going to be able to KO that Hangerback Walker, which is going to leave Danny with a Thopter.
Yeah, that's
now. Okay, Danny choosing. Oh, does it exile? Oh my no. Oh, it does exile.
Whoa! I did not know that.
That's a big game.
RTFCJ, bro. That's huge. And even left out the mana to activate.
I know.
To no end.
That's actually kind of brutal. Gavin bins a Worm Harvest among other cards. And that's going to be coming to town next turn. That looks like a Territorial Kavu. Is that right?
Oh, man. Yes. That is a Territorial Kavu. Gavin, not like this. You know you got to like...
Kavu. Producer Michael, could you please update this to 5-color Gavins? Because we have a 5/5 Territorial Kavu. We legally have to say this is a 5-color deck.
Domain. That's true. Oh, man. This is insane. Gavin is just taking him to task. Do you think that he designed some of these cards just for this board state?
I think he looked in the future and said, you know what I want to do? I want to take Danny Spiteri to town and really demoralize him on coverage.
Although Danny's latest creature is Bang 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 in the Chicken Wing. Now it is not
Angel of Invention, quite good, choosing to do the 2 servo mode.
So Angel does have lifelink, which is wildly relevant, but with a token maker in Monastery Mentor, this can get out of hand quickly.
Yes.
And on top of that, although Gavin has a lot of powerful things on the board, now he can't get through like before. This could turn around, much like last game where Danny was in the driver's seat and Gavin had to make it up. Yeah. Without some powerful stuff going on here, and although let us not forget, Gavin does have Life from the Loading Graveyard.
He does.
Pretty good.
He does, but let's also not forget, Angel of Invention always gives all of Danny's creatures +1/+1 no matter what.
True.
So it's going to be really difficult, even if we see an Ishkana, even if we see Worm Harvest come down, that you're not trading 1-for-1 with tokens.
True.
You gotta trade 2-for-1 on your side.
True.
So
great points.
Those type of things. You can stabilize for a short period of time, but the clock does run out if Danny continues to cast spells and make monks.
And all Gavin needs to do is find his zombie Pelucranos, and everything swings back. And remember, he's drawing like 4 cards a turn. Oh, he didn't Life from the Loam. What do you think about that?
I think he needs something that's not lands, because he probably also realizes that this Worm Harvest, in the face of things being 2/2s, probably not quite exactly what he wants.
Okay, he Life from the Loam's here. Okay.
Yeah, so he's getting 2 draw steps, but he needed to take 1 to get an action card.
Yeah, that's fair. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So again, when he attacks, he gets to discard. Attack with both, so he wants to knock down some of the threats. Again, Danny.
Yeah, Gavin's attacking with a 4/4 and a 5/5. So.
Right, although the 4/4 when it hits does have a very relevant ability, and we probably want to take that out here, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be not hitting. Now,
and actually,
this is really interesting. We're blocking with a 3/3 Mentor and a 2/2 Servo.
Wow, so you know what that means? Not a lot of instants and sorceries in hand.
I would say
that is a tell.
I would say mostly creatures in Danny's hand.
You better hope Gavin doesn't have one of his many removal spells. Okay, yeah. There it is. Well.
I mean, honestly, as much as I, in most cases, wouldn't love that attack from Danny, he's saying, I think that your Grimflayer is more important to your strategy than Monastery Mentor is for mine this game. I think it's true.
That's true. And that does fit this format. Like, that does fit this cube. That makes sense from a flavor perspective. But, oh my.
Why cast it from the graveyard when you just cast it from your hand for 4 mana?
I didn't know that card could be cast for 4. There's an alternative casting cost. You don't have. It's not like Haga. You just cast it.
It is. Yeah. Well, the alternate casting cost is casting it from hand.
Yeah, right.
That's the one you never see.
How do we like a 4? Yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. 4 mana 6/6. It has that weird ability that if damage would be dealt, remove that many counters, but it can fight. It can fight. It's knucking and bucking, which means a 2-1 lifelink, although it will gain Danny a couple life when it does, is about to get knocked out of the park. And it can escape. It can just keep coming back and back and back. That is, in this matchup, probably the best card in Gavin's deck. Gavin's
graveyard is about 12 deep, so that's like 2 activations, which is not going to be good for Danny. Danny needs to permanently exile Polyuchronos.
Yes, we need a source to Plowshares.
Killing it will not be enough.
Okay,
he's got some kill spells.
So he's attacking with the 4/3, which means he can discard and bink something. This could be huge because he can give -/- with the discard. Oh. Yeah. We're doing the old dippity doppity.
And
is that a scrappy
scrounger? So just -2, which makes sense. Saying I'll trade.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll offer to trade. Well, you know,
it's also not got trample.
Yeah, and we're just going to see jump in front of the bus with Seder Wayfinder. And now we have one less blocker, but you know, Armix really needs to attack to do its thing. It's not a very effective blocker.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Danny could be in a position where you have to say maybe Gavin will make a mistake and will allow me to trade a card in this Armix for Polyuchronos because it can come back. And even though Danny can't ultimately beat it, but maybe if he keeps having to kill it and coming back, it takes a lot of mana and you have to pay 3 to activate it. So maybe it could just be looking for time.
True. That's fair.
Which Danny doesn't have a lot of, as we see both Polyuchronos and Territorial Kavu crashing into the red zone for 11. Oof. There's got to be some chumping,
and again, that life from Loam is, and you know, Danny's doing his bestest, and I appreciate the effort, but this is just a lot to handle. And again, he knows that 2-1 is on a clock, that 2-1's about to get clocked. It's about to get its clock wrong. Yep, bink.
Got to go ahead and fight that.
Which does fight, so he gains 2 life, which is not irrelevant.
No, not irrelevant.
And it also shrinks it, so it goes down to 3/3.
Yeah, Polyuchronos will now only take 1 from the servo.
Right. So there's something there. He can also get his 3/2 Scrappy Dappy back from the graveyard. And Gavin's at 5. So
I think what Gavin's likely to do is play a land, pass the turn, and say, I'm going to kill whatever you have left over.
Yeah. Or a 1/3 that can mill and stuff, maybe? Or not. Or yes. Also, Danny, like me, his leg is going crazy. When I'm in a situation like this, I'm bouncing all over the place. For me, it's a big tell. But I have that exact same thing when I'm playing. And in fact, when I first got married, that was a big
Fauna
thing.
Shaman.
Oh, wow.
Fauna Shaman with no land, which, you know, obviously if Gavin had a land, that the play is play land past the turn.
Right.
And we do see the Scrappy Scrounger return to end of turn. Cannot block.
But 3 power at 12 life is not irrelevant. Yeah. Danny's putting his plan together. This could be something. But when I first got married and I got my wedding ring and I played Magic and I always play with it, it was a huge tell, like every single time. So yeah, I've got that same mentality. All right, let's see. What are we looking for here? We're just seeing what options there are. And that's the other thing. That's good on Danny because you do want to be constantly cognizant of what's going on in the graveyard. It's revealed information, but it's so easy to forget, right?
Absolutely.
Just like
it takes effort.
Yes,
you actually have to say, let me see your graveyard. You have to go through it. Things are not always laid out so clearly.
That's right.
And it's a very good way for, historically in all formats, graveyard decks are quite powerful because of the nature of like faux hidden information.
Yep.
It's not hidden, but it's inconvenient.
Yep. We call that fitting information.
Fitting information.
Yep. If you ain't fitting, you... Oh, okay. So we saw the discard 3 artifacts kills the Plukinos that way with a land. Nice use, Danny. Very nice. Now, Danny's still facing down lethal. Got the servo to block. So we got a fight on our hand.
Gavin considering blocking here.
You got to block, right?
Yeah,
I'm not mad at
a 3/2. Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely not. And it's not. You're not blocking to conserve your life total. You're blocking to get rid of the creature.
Okay, so guess what we just saw?
We got a Mardu Woe Reaper.
Bye-bye, Beluganos. Does that gain a life, too?
It sure
does. Doesn't that gain him a life?
It does gain a life.
So he should be at 6. We should get that.
5.
Oh, sorry,
5 is correct.
Excuse me. We'll get that updated on a screen.
You know, and
that's fantastic.
So I really, you know, still a lot of. This is more of a last grasp for Danny than it is a stabilization because we still have that 5/5 Territorial Kavu.
True, and Gavin has a grip full of cards, and Danny's hellbent.
And
you love to see it. That's just good magic.
Yeah,
So tagging again gets a discard and draw, and can life from alone.
Now is the time that we want to cast this Worm Harvest.
Yeah.
And this is the Worm Harvest. If we choose to do that, that's going to be the KO, as it's going to spread out all of these bodies. Gavin's going to go a different route. Potentially.
3 mana.
I think if you now Gavin could just not have a land in his hand, so you can't retrace Worm Harvest. He didn't have one last turn.
But you don't need to retrace it for it to be great here.
It's in his graveyard.
Oh, it is?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, touche. Well,
there's a lot of cards in his graveyard, to be fair. So like we can't see them all.
How big do you reckon that
Knight? I'd say probably like a 7/7.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Lethal is the answer. It's a lethal Knight.
It's lethal Knight. Well, I will say
he's going to get a check. Which is good.
Danny put up a good fight. This looks like a 3/1 first striker from my vantage point, although we'll see when we play
it looks like a murderous cut. Nope. It is a 3/1 first striker.
It's very good, but in this, oh my!
And that
one of the most powerful cards.
One of the most powerful cards.
Yeah, in his deck.
No, it's quite good.
It's great. It's insane. It's so good.
Grapple with the past for Gavin, and we are going to
grapple with the present as Danny has to.
We are going to. Yeah, Danny's grappling with the present of this on the stack.
This is pretty overwhelming.
So Gavin got a new cube card that I absolutely love, Colossal Sky Turtle.
You got the turtle?
I got the flying turtle? The Sky Turtle.
Hell yeah. Let's talk about the turtle. What a great design. Wait, bounce the card.
He's attacking with both. That can't block.
He's just saying can't block. Got it. He's got 7. He bounced the other. Well, good games. Well done, Gavin.
Gavin taking it down. Danny Spiteri put up a good fight.
It was a great fight. This
is a poor matchup for him. It
was a poor matchup, and not only that, but Gavin did get the Knight of the Rally card early game 1. Like that or the other ramp card is so important for that. If that wasn't the case, Danny was. Well, I guess he actually had instant removal. Well, anyway, it's a tough matchup, but great deck, Gavin. 5-color Gavins. With the exclamation, I think it deserves an exclamation point. What do you say?
Well, it was a complete victory, no doubt.
It's pretty exclamatory. So
we're gonna find out if we have a backup match we're able to view. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes they finish quick. The nature of Cube, you just never know. But yeah, Gavin certainly was dropping bows.
Left and right.
Yeah, from all over, from the graveyard, from his hand, from the battlefield.
So I also want to show off my awesome shirt. This is the Cultic Cube shirt. One of our organizers from the OG days, and just a great guy all around, John Terrell. If you've not checked out Cultic Cube on YouTube, do yourself a favor and savor his flavor. A fantastic content creator, and also one of the minds behind CubeCon. He's put in a ton of work. He's a tall man from Texas. You love to see it. He's not from Boston. He's from Austin. John Terrell. Give him some love and check out some of the stuff. He also donated tokens from. Did you get your tokens?
Not yet.
Oh, you're in for a.
I've been here. I've been in here,
friend. Well, technically you should have got it when you walked up, but we came in early to set up. But he has one reserved for you, I'm sure.
Okay, wonderful.
They're fantastic, and it is worth the price of admission alone. Let alone everything else you get to do. This is a great EV. For those of you who want value, CubeCon is for you. Do you want to mention the game too? Well, let's not cut to the next match. Let's just talk a little bit, wrap up early, and then we'll see you guys for round 3 if that's all right.
Yeah, it looks like we're almost done with the round, so should be coming back quickly.
So real quick before we wrap up, let me ask you a question. You've been running on fumes. You've been putting in so much work for this for literally years, actually.
2019.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get into. Oh, we got a story coming for you. But before that, I just want to say, from your perspective, how has CubeCon either met, exceeded, or not quite met your expectation for what you thought this would be like, the experience you're having, all that sort of stuff?
Well, I will speak from what I see in the room, and I've been to a lot of Magic events.
Hell yeah,
more Magic events than most people.
Accurate.
And I would say that this is, and I mean this honestly, this is the highest percentage of people that have been excited to be at a Magic event that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hell yeah.
You have so many people that are here that are just here to celebrate Cube, which is the greatest format in the world. Everyone's jazzed to be here.
I feel like we need
the most cubes per capita in this room. There's almost as many cubes as there are players. You have some people taking 5-6 cubes to this event, and everyone is just having a blast. We have such a wide span of cubes, and this is something that, you know, when you and I talked about this 3 years ago, you started this, and I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit. So 2019 SCG Con, we had the cube event that J Bro won. And we did a little winner. I did a winner's interview with you at the end of the event after you had that awesome trophy.
Awesome trophy.
And then, and after
a literal cube.
It was a big marble cube.
Yes.
Made of marble. It's really awesome. It's a really sweet trophy. And after that, I was like, hey, why don't we do an episode of Think Twice, my podcast that was running at the time, and just talk about cube. So we did that, and then after that, you were like, hey, what if there was an event that was like just all cube? I was like, that would be cool. And he's like, no, like, what if like there really was? Like, what if there really was? And almost 3 years later,
and we birthed the CubeCon.
Here we are,
our baby.
Yeah, it's amazing that we actually got to this point.
No.
So absolutely exceeding expectations that this is even in existence.
Hell yeah, we've made it happen. And I will say this: we had a lot of people who doubted that it was possible, who said it could not happen for logistical reasons.
COVID-19 didn't want it to happen.
Yeah. COVID-19 really threw us for a loop. So if you enjoy what you see and thank this man right here, check him out on Twitch, on YouTube. Look up his content. Fantastic cube designer, but also the reason for the season. And you have no idea how much work not only has put in, but continues to put in for this. Thank you, Justin, from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
I know you truly mean that. You're not just gassing me up for the coverage.
Nope, but in fact, I will say this. This has been probably the crowning achievement Magic time. And I'm boomer. I'm playing Magic for a very long time.
Yeah, man, me too.
So on the Pro Tour
we got close to 50 years between us of Magic, which is
that makes me
we're real old.
Yeah.
We're real old.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't spend any other way. I'll say this too. Part of the reason for this is Magic in general and Cube in specific. I wouldn't say literally saved my life, but kept me on a path that, like, I'll get it, check out my stream if you want some more stories about that. But because of Magic, I have gotten so much out of it, and it has enriched me so much. Being able to do something to give back and to get people somewhere they can have enjoyment, stuff like that, is like the reason for this season. I try to do it on my stream, try to do other stuff, but this is like just, chef's kiss magnifique about it. And every single person who's lent a hand to this has been part of that process. And we literally made history. Like, this is history.
Absolutely. Of course it is.
How do you feel about running it back?
I'm jazzed to run it back, bigger and better. Actually.
That's
right. Because there are people
you here.
Because we are really, this was pulled together by the passion of the people that wanted to run it.
A force of will, to be sure.
And what I said at the end of the last draft was true. Every person that's in this room loves Cube.
Yes.
Not just the players. Yes. All of the staff, all of the judges.
The judges have been amazing. And
there's people that are not here that have helped.
Yes.
That have helped do this, that are for the passion of this format.
Absolutely.
And we know, because of things with life, things with the timing, with what's happening in the world, there's a lot of people that want to be here that are not able to.
But we're happy to provide you with coverage too, and we're thrilled you're with us.
Absolutely. And that's one of the big reasons that we wanted to make sure we did coverage, because we want to share as much as we can about this event.
And that's why I said, when we spoke earlier, I said we got to get Michael. When I recruited Michael for the team, I said we need someone with his technical expertise. And thank you again, Michael. And I said we have to have a dope coverage, because part of it too, and not only that, this is going to be something in perpetuity. For years from now, people are going to look back at this as the first CubeCon, as something that was a part of history that 15 years, 20 years, when CubeCon
who knows how long it's going to go?
30
this
years.
Is the first one.
It will be at least 30 years, guaranteed.
Magic 60.
Guaranteed. Yep.
Magic 60.
Magic 60. Don't worry about those WotC proxies. We're on a whole nother level. We're on a whole nother level. So basically, I just want to really, from the heart of it, thank you to everyone. And also thank you to all of you, all the participants here. You all coming from literally all over the world make this happen. So really appreciate it. And if you like what you see, please continue to tag us on Twitter with stuff. Do hashtag CubeCon, hashtag CubeCon 2023. And I'll say, as someone who was aggressively seeking out the sponsors for this, which did end up coming together, but initially I was met with so much hesitation. Why? Because there's no proof of concept.
And we've never done it before.
No, never done it before. And people said, this is a cool idea, but it's not going to come through, and we're not going to put ourselves out there like that. And thank you to freaking Dragon Shield, and thank you to Ultra Pro for believing in us and helping to make this happen.
Yeah.
They were two of our we could not have done this without their help as well. They were hugely helpful, and they believed in us. And they're great for the Cube community as well because they produce great products.
I mean, I'll be honest. Every Cube I've ever owned has been Dragon Shield. This is my go-to.
Great product. Yeah. Great product. Yeah, Dragon Shield was the first Cube I ever played, and I don't think I've looked back. No, that's not true. At one Gen Con, do you remember World of Warcraft game?
Oh, yeah.
You got the lion and the other one?
Yeah.
So I got, at the bargain bin after the game fizzled out, there's $1. I picked up probably 10,000 sleeves for super cheap.
Sure.
And I just went nuts on all my cubes. Not the same quality, but you
like
the quality you make up for in random
dollar.
Yeah, random lion symbols or whatever, the alliance or whatever it's called, the horde or whatever.
So
yeah.
We have so much more. So this is about the halfway point in the event for the main event.
Hell yeah.
We're at draft 5. Ultimately, there's going to be 8 drafts.
Yes.
We've done 4. There's this one. There's one more today before we cut to top 64 tomorrow.
Yes.
And top 64, we are very excited because we're going to have the 64. Honestly, and I am not saying this ironically, some of the best cube drafters in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Here,
not close. We're missing Arya.
There's a handful of people. There's a lot of great
Jim
ones.
Davis. No, not Jim Davis.
Whoa,
we're missing Arya.
Jim.
Talking to you, Jim Hetrick. That's why they call me Hetrick Johnny. Not Jim Davis, but Arya.
Are you suggesting that Jim had a kid to avoid coming to CubeCon?
I think that's the most likely. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, and actually, shout out to Jim. He was really he actually helped us in other ways, and he was going to be one of the team members, but he obviously has he had his kids, so But yeah, shout out to Jim. Real talk, but also real talk. I hat tricked you. You've not beaten me ever, so God bless it. I look forward to Cube for Charity this year.
You got quiet your voice now. Caleb's in the room. The Cube champion of Wisconsin. I see him right there.
All right, I gotta be quiet. I lost to Caleb in a heads up the other night. Now he's the Cube champion. We gambled the title, so I gotta calm down a little bit while he's here.
So,
he's right.
But we have so many more people. We have so many more people that want to be here next year, and we're gonna try to make that happen.
Yes,
because we want this to be bigger and better. We want it to be extended to as many people as we can fit.
Absolutely.
And
also, where are you gonna get a chance to cube against Sam Black? It is he's literally having people come over and do his
commander cube.
His commander
cube. I did last night.
You did.
I drafted it last night with him.
Where are you gonna get to have this is the you do not want to miss this. I promise you. Not only that, the very nature of the types of cubes that are here, not just the main event, but some people bought are some of the best. This is like
incredible.
Best in show for cubes.
Yeah, of course.
Basically, this is the best
showcase
of
the format.
Yes. So again, thank you everyone. We're gonna go to commercial break for a bit, and we'll be back on after the next round.
Just in a couple minutes.
But we really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Bless up, homies.